So when this book came out, I'm told, or actually I've read that there was a little bit of a hullabaloo. I mean, come on, it's about Jesus. It's not hard to get. But as someone who's actually read the book, I wonder, did these guys actually read the book themselves? Because the gospel according to Jesus Christ, all it does is take a super familiar highway of a story and it shows us all of those tiny little dirty hairy roads that go in and out of it. And like once or twice, I was left with a, wait, that didn't happen. Or what about when, like surprised. But all of those moments, they just added to the beauty of the book. Because frankly, this book is incredible. Like when you reread your favorite book as a kid and then you end up picking up on all those references and foreshadowing and innuendos, maybe like sexual, maybe with your adult eyes, and you're thinking like, how did I miss that? And then you're left with just like a greater appreciation of the story and the characters. Well, that's what reading this book is like. So the language itself is kind of like the language of them other gospels, the legit ones, right? And Saramago apparently has a very Saramago style, like how he just doesn't use speech marks, but not having read any of his other books, I really wouldn't know. So I just thought his style was a choice he made specifically for this book. Either way, it works so well. It gives the book a mystique, like an otherness that lends an authenticity and believability to this well-trodden story, and it creates an atmosphere. It's just beautiful. Also, actually, it makes me curious about his other books. Like, how does this Saramago style affect other types of stories? Ones that don't have Jesus as the main character. And it's kind of funny, actually. Like, the experience of reading the book felt like I was in cahoots with him. Like, there's a tacit understanding between me and the narrator, that the relationship between us formed like a kind of meta-narrative. It's not just a story about Jesus' life, but also the story of what I, as a person living 2,000 years later, think about Jesus' life. And somehow, Saramago includes all of that. It's genius. So our relationship is almost conspiratorial. Hear me out. It's a super familiar story, right? Like, who doesn't know the story of Jesus? But the thing is, it's set in a super unfamiliar time. Like, it's just weird. There's so much concern about sacrificing a goat, like the right type of goat. And there are just so many different cultural quirks and traditions and norms that inform these characters' motivations and actions, and it all could have easily broken the immersion, except for the fact that Saramago is whispering in your ear the whole time something like, yeah, I know, right? Weird. All of this gives the book a surprising amount of humor, because the narrator, he doesn't quite break the fourth wall in highlighting the situation. Saramago is standing right there with you. He's maybe even laughing. It's witty. And all of this, his style, the language, the meta-narrative, the conspiracy, the knowing wit, all of this allows me to really get Jesus as a human, the psychology of him throughout his life. Like, wow, it's moving, it's poetic, it's beautiful, it's witty, it's humorous, it's genius. My God, it's a masterpiece.